What's up, guys? I'm Jay Randall. Welcome back to my channel where I discuss wisdom for the modern man. Today, guys, got another video to react to. This one is brought to us by the YouTube channel The Truth After Dark. The title of the video: Black Women Are Hated. Now, I rarely speak on the black community. You know, there's other content creators that specifically focus in on the black community and the dating dynamics and what's going on in the black community. I tend not to, although I do have my opinions. But this video came across my YouTube page, so I decided, you know what? Let's see what's going on in the conversation. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Are black women appreciated by men?
Are black women appreciated by men? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like nowadays, I think that other races, like how you do a lot, are more put on a pedestal. And I see that a lot, especially from you. And so I feel like, you know, black women do kind of feel disrespected and they feel underappreciated a lot of the time. Yes, because all I see on the internet is black men downing black women every day. In our comments, it's way more men. I would assume when I started this journey that it would be women hating on women. Every bad negative comment about me is mainly from a man. I rarely see a woman comment negative. And I didn't know men were so catty like that and so quick to want to put a black woman down. Like, she's trash, she's this, she's that, she's like the most horrible things you can think of. And I'm like, who raised y'all? Because I come from a generation of my dad and how I was taught. Like, I never see my dad talk down on a woman like that. Even if he can't stand this motherfucker, he's not gonna sit in my face and pillow talk about another woman or bring her down. He probably did it behind in his own room, like this bitch, you know, but it was never that. And
see, that's the problem. That's the issue. Black men were too silent. They were very silent. They allowed black women to just run these streets, act crazy, talk to them crazy, and begin to become these degenerates that they are today, and we just stayed silent. Women were never silent. When they had grievances against black men, they were very vocal. All over social media, all over TV, it was very popular to talk about how black men were trash, black men were broke, black men were this, black men were that, they don't take care of their kids, they're losers, they're deadbeats, and how white men are so much better. You should be more like the white man. And black men endured that. And we just kept our criticisms to ourselves. And the thing is, now men have a voice. Men are finally able to speak on all the things that not just black women, but all races and ethnicities of women have done. White, black, Hispanic, Asian, we're vocal. All men. We're going to speak on what the problem is. We're not going to stay silent anymore. And so, yes, now black men are going to speak on what it is you guys have been doing wrong for all these years. All the bad treatment, all the ratchetness, all the disrespect, the attitude. Yes, we're going to vocalize our issues. So get used to it.
Like, black women, all I see on the internet is how white women are better. American, non-American women are better. This and that are better. And it's like, have your preference, but don't bring us down while you're doing it. If you want to be with a woman that's not American or not white, do that. But stop referencing it to a black woman. Because when black women get with white men, they're not talking about black men are trash. They're just loving and living their life with this white man.
What? That is verifiably false. I could go on TikTok right now and find you so many videos of women talking about why you should date a white man and how white men treat you differently, and this is how you're going to be appreciated, and they're going to take care of you in this way, and how the experience of dating a white man is just so different, and my standards are different after dating a white man and seeing how you're supposed to be treated. In fact, wait till like the nighttime and go on TikTok live, scroll through a couple of lives related to relationships. There are always at least 1 or 2 or 3 live streams going on dedicated to black women talking about why they should date outside their race and why they should start moving over to dating white men. I did not know it was such a big topic amongst black women until I started debating these feminists on TikTok and I came across these lives. Bro, this is a huge topic amongst black women talking about why you should date white guys. And black guys don't care. We're fine with that. I never left a bad comment on their page. I might have tuned in for a little bit to hear what their talking points are, then I go about my day. We're not concerned about it. Date your white guys. We don't care. It's cool. When I see a white guy and a black girl, holding hands at a theme park or wherever the case may be, I'm not filled with outrage like black women when they see when they see a black man with a white woman. I'm just like, great, it's a couple that found love. So I'm cool with it. Black women are the ones who get upset about that. That's just me. So that lie she just told about, oh, black women don't say anything when they go date white guys, bro. Where have you been living? Because clearly it's been under a rock. But let's keep going with the video.
Period. And it's like, you don't have to sit here and down the other race because you don't want to fuck with them. You don't have to do that. At the end of the day, if you want to mess with a white woman and an Asian woman and this woman, go do that and leave us out of the conversation. Period, point blank. And I think that that's what the women are frustrated about. And if we have an opinion on this, we're aggressive. See, she has too much of opinion. That's why they don't like you. That's because you talk too much. You're loud. Okay.
Well, this is the thing, too. And the reason why black women get so much hate is because how we, on our TV shows, across these platforms, how people look at us. So when you start looking, they look at us like an ignorant group of people.
Right.
And especially like when you look across the platforms and you start looking at the Real Housewives or whatever, and we glorify the shaking that ass. We glorify the fighting.
Yep.
We glorify the talking about each other. I'm talking about like black women. We the
ghetto-ness, the ratchetness.
You know that white women do
and
that
the
too,
ratings
though.
and the ratings are off the chain too.
You know that white women do that too, though.
No.
Jersey Shore, the housewives of like Pontiac or the other housewives of Beverly Hills is white women. It's not black women on that at all. So I'm letting you know.
Okay, bro, listen, you're talking about TV shows. Okay, I'm talking about real life. Yes, TV plays a part because it shapes the way the public views us, right? When you're consuming all this kind of content about black people and all you see is degeneracy and ghetto-ness and ratchet or them gang banging or being hoodlums, and the only positive, aspect of black people as you see is like either musicians or athletes. But when it particularly comes to black women, they're the ones who are always being ghetto, twerking everywhere. Bro, I swear, if I ever am out and I hear, hey, I already know I'm going to look to my left, look to my right, or turn around and see some black women twerking. It's like they can find a reason to twerk everywhere. If you're downtown or anywhere downtown and guess who's going to jump in front of your car? A group of 4 or 5 black girls and start twerking. Literally will hold up traffic just to shake their ass. It's a problem. Now, I'm not saying all black women are like this. I already know all black women are not like this because my family isn't like this. I come from a very classy group of black women who know how to present themselves, speak eloquently, and present themselves in a respectable way. But I'm Jamaican though. Jamaicans aren't about that. Most of them aren't about that craziness. They have self-respect and respect their image and want people to respect them out in public. So they're not doing all that craziness. But black Americans, bro, I'm not gonna hold you. Y'all have a problem with this very ghetto, very degenerate look that you're presenting to society, but at the same time, on top of all that, you want respect. And when people treat you a certain way, you're mad at them, but what have you shown them that's worthy of respect? You can't just demand it, but every time they see you, you're gangbanging, you're sagging your pants, you're slurring your words, you don't know how to act, you're crashing out everywhere, creating a scene, or you're twerking on something. Like, come on, man, we got to fix this image. It's not a good look.
A lot of housewives that are not, the one is basketball wives. I'm talking about the real housewives of Beverly Hills is all white women throwing drinks at each other, cursing each other out. But guess what? It is not as bad because they're white, right?
No, it's because that's a TV show, and what we see in reality when it comes to white women does not reflect the TV show. The difference is what we see in the TV show is what we're seeing in reality when it comes to black women. Not all of them, but a ridiculous amount of them that shouldn't be. So it's almost 1-to-1 with the degeneracy we're seeing on the TV is what we're seeing in reality. But in your day-to-day life, you don't see white women acting like Jersey Shore. So we don't take it seriously. It's just entertainment. When you're watching black women on TV, you're like, yeah, that's how they be. That really is how they be. Bro, let's be so for real. Come on.
It's not as aggressive. It's not as ghetto. It is not as raunchy because they're white women doing it. Black women are always held to a way higher standard. We always have to prove
No.
why we deserve to have a seat at the table. We always have to prove that we deserve to be here. No matter, we always have to be way more classier than you. A white girl can come in here half naked and I can come in here with a little titty showing, and guess what? I'm a whore. Like, it's always going to be this comparison, and I think that black women are tired of being compared. Do I agree with you that culturally black people are doing too much, shaking ass and this and that? Yes, I don't think you're wrong. Like Zeus Network and Jocelyn's Cabernet and all of that stuff is out of
But
line.
this is the thing. When you're American culture,
Yeah.
you're being more watched than anybody. Like when you think about culture in America, who sets the trends?
Black people.
Who sets the tone for how we dress, how we look, how we act, how we run, how
Black
we play
people.
sports?
Yep.
It's us.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're already up here as far as eyeballs watching us. So then people around the world are going to assume, just like from watching us on every microscope and every camera and every national platform, that's how we are.
Yep.
But we don't do us no favors by having putting more shows out there like the Cosbys or just like a classy Housewives of this show. No, we want the drama, and we
Exactly. I remember watching a guy who does like Passport Bros, and it was a black guy, and he was talking about the way people in the Philippines view black men. And he was saying that it was either they view you as like an athlete, you're like, wealthy, successful, like athlete. That's like the positive end of things. If they view you from a positive light. Or depending on how you look, they're going to think that you're going to be like a hoodlum, like you're going to be stealing things. It's like those are the two things that they think of you. Either you're an athlete or you're a hoodlum. And that's because of what they see on TV. That's literally all they see is either people playing basketball, playing football, very rich, successful athlete, maybe a musician, like a rapper or something if he's really popular. But even in the rappers, all they do is portray being, gang banging and being hoodlums with their guns, always in their videos doing this. It's like, yeah, they're gonna think you're either that or they're gonna think you're some kind of athlete, because that's all we portray. And he was talking about you really gotta present yourself a certain way because they have this idea in their head of you already, and you have to go and prove them wrong. Like, no, I'm a respectable guy. I speak well. I'm not a hoodlum. And, you can do that. But the stereotype is already there, and it's on you to break it. And that's unfortunate because of what they see of us on TV, what they see of us in the news. Most of it is not a good look. And we got to fix that as a community.
off the drama because that's where the money is. Now it's about clout. It's about who can make the most noise, who could get the most attention, and we become attention whores for the money.
Yep.
It's just, if that's the only way that black women can make money, and I'm not saying that is the only way, but like when they're throwing dollars at black women being ignorant to one another, it feeds into it.
Yep.
Yeah, I can
And
agree
that's
with
what
that.
people see.
I can agree with
And
that.
now that's our perception of one another, and that's why we're looked at as a race, and that's how black women are looked at for that perception of being ignorant and men not wanting them from other races
Yep.
because of that. But it's entertaining. You
But
know
I
what I'm
will say
saying?
that I see a lot of women with these other races now, and I've seen a lot of it recently, and I'm like, okay, these other races are messing with these women, and these black women and black women are going to these other races, and they're feeling like appreciated or whatever the case may be. Is what I have seen from a lot of people these days. So,
I will agree with her with that. I have seen an uptick in black women dating white men. It's definitely not the majority. Most black women are still pretty adamant about wanting to date a black man. But I think it's good. I think it's great, man. Like, if they can find a white guy, Hispanic guy, an Asian guy who truly loves them and then respects them, like, I think that's great. Date outside your race. I don't think anybody should be trapped within their race. It's not about staying race loyal, bro. We ain't Dr. Umar over here. It's about finding a partner, a wife, a husband that actually provides value, respects you, loves you, and you can build life together. That's what my parents taught me from the jump. They never were trying to be, oh, you need to find a black woman. No, find a good woman. Find a God-fearing woman. They never told me find a black woman. Never told me find a black woman. What they did tell me though is don't find a black American woman. They were very adamant about that, which is crazy. But yeah, they never told me not to date any particular types. They said date black, date white, Hispanic, we don't care as long as she is God-fearing and respects you, loves you, and we're good. So I think it's totally fine if black women are dating white guys or what black guys are dating white girls or whatever mix and match you want to pair up with. I think that's totally fine.
you see that there's a shift, and I was actually just thinking about it the other day. I'm like, look, if you're happy somewhere else and you want to be with a different race, do that. I don't think there's any problem with that. I'm a biracial product of a biracial parents, so I can't even hate on that at the end of the day. But I think the bigger problem is with this platform, we have to make sure that we're creating unity more than separation. Like, what are the things? How can we problem solve this? What are the things that we can do to close the gap between black men and black women? How can we be more united at the end of the day? And I think that that's really, really important. And I think that's something that we should focus on more, because every day on the internet, all you see is why this person is, why women don't love, why. What are the solutions? We seem everyone is very problem based.
Like out of all of our role models,
Hold on. Men do offer solutions. The problem is women don't want to hear the solutions because it requires something of them. It requires change. And I'll tell you this, black women in particular are adamant. They will stand 10 toes down on the fact that they're not changing for nobody. You're going to have to tolerate me. You're going to have to put up with this. Literally, it's baked into what they say. The whole phrasing of you can't handle a strong black woman, baked into dealing with certain black women is this idea that there is something to be handled. You already know you're going to have to put up with this attitude. You already know you're going to have to put up with this whatever. You're going to have to handle me. Can you put up with that in order to get the sex? Are you willing to do that? How much BS are you willing to put up with? It's baked into their language. You can't handle. I'm not trying to handle nothing, sweetheart. Go find someone else to handle that. That's not what I'm here for. I got to handle work. I got to handle this career. I got to handle making money. I got to handle keeping things, together, keeping the family together, leading us, making good decisions. You're supposed to be my support. And I have to handle you just like I do my job? Nah. And this is why a lot of guys know that with a lot of black women, not all, but a lot of them, there's going to be a headache. There's going to be an additional burden to add to their life. And men aren't trying to do that. We want to find a woman who's going to relieve that stress, relieve that burden. But black women oftentimes don't present themselves as that type of partner. So, that's just unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
like our top women, like
Yeah.
in this generation,
Yeah.
like who are our popular top women and what do they talk about?
Michelle Obama, she has a podcast.
No.
Nah, she's not the most. Come on.
This generation don't relate to her.
Absolutely not.
She's older. They're not following Michelle Obama. Maybe an older generation is. They're following Sexy Red, Cardi B.
Facts.
They're following what are Glorilla.
Yep.
They're following Megan the Stallion. What do they talk
1000%.
about? Shaking their ass, popping that pee, dressing like this.
Getting money, smashing a bunch of dudes, how wet their pussy is, how fat their ass is, how niggas want to smash them. Bro, being out in the club, twerking. Bro, that is what black women are looking up to. That is the thing. You think they're looking at a respectable Michelle Obama who dresses conservatively, speaks eloquently, isn't out in the clubs, is in professional settings? No. They want a Barack Obama because of his status and what it can do for their lives, but they don't want to present themselves like a Michelle Obama. Absolutely not. They want to be a Cardi B and get an Obama. And it's funny, and then they complain when a woman who presents herself more respectfully gets a high status black man. Well, sweetheart, while you were out twerking in front of cars downtown, this girl, he found her somewhere more respectable. He cares about his image. Like, come on, it's like they don't want to do anything to help themselves, but they're going to continue to complain as to why they get the treatment that they do. And I find that very frustrating. Men are absolutely giving women solutions. We're telling them all the time, stop doing this, start doing that, present yourself like this, put on some clothes, stop twerking everywhere, stop being ghetto, stop being a headache, drop the attitude. I ain't doing none of that. You don't have to tolerate this. Look, listen, if you ain't going to put up with this, then I guess we ain't going to be nothing. They have that attitude. They're standing 10 toes down. They're not going to change.
And our kids are watching this.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
So like who is the face? Who is the face for this generation? Those are the faces that the kids look up to. They turn on the TV. This is what they say. They don't have to turn on the TV no more. We go into our phone.
Facts.
Now this is what we got on us 24 hours a day to look at this. Oh,
yep.
Man, we just saw Cardi right there. We just saw Megan. We just saw Sexy Red. Oh, she said this. We can't be hypocrites to this, dog. We can't be. Because this is what's being preached. This is what's getting fed to us.
Facts.
But where is the hypocrisy coming in?
Like, the hypocrisy is coming into, like...
Because those are not my role models. So where is the hypocrisy?
The hypocrisy is...
You're one person.
Black women want to be treated a certain way, but act a certain way.
Exactly what I just said.
Generalize a whole group of women.
Yeah, bro. You can absolutely generalize. What are the majority of them doing? They're twerking, they're dressing a certain way, they're acting a certain way. They got blonde and orange wigs. Why do they do that? I don't know for the life of me. Like, what makes you think an orange weave looks good with that complexion? It looks wrong. But let a white girl get cornrows and oh my gosh. It was actually pretty funny. I was dating this one white girl and I didn't know this was such a big issue, that a white girl having cornrows was like a big no-no. She was telling me when she was in school and she really liked the cornrow look, so she had her aunt or whatever give her that hairstyle. When she went to school, her group of black friends were telling her, no, you got to take that out. She loved the hair. She even showed me pictures of her with the hair. She literally went back that same week and got the hairstyle taken out because all her black friends were getting on her about having cornrows. How it was, plaited back. But white women run around here with blonde weave, and you don't see a bunch of white women telling them, take that off. It's crazy to me. I didn't know all this stuff, bro. Until I was dating that girl and she disclosed a lot of this stuff to me. This is wild. It's wild. Let's get back to the video, man.
Those are influences.
Yeah, but you can't generalize a whole group of women. Not all women, not all black women.
I can't generalize all
Yeah, exactly.
women.
So there is a group.
Where do I go to see that group? Where is that group at?
Exactly. Where they at?
Where are you at? Because change where you're at and you'll see that group.
Where's that group at?
You tell us. Where they at?
Can I get a group of black women in one place that's not being on some like crazy shit, like on some like sexy red Megan Thee Stallion, like
I don't go out and just see groups of women looking like Megan Thee Stallion and that.
yeah, that's what I see from the kids. You go to any
That's
high
what I
school, any public school.
We're talking
exactly.
about high schools now. I don't know that.
Well, go to the public schools. You go there. You go to the because I go to high school games
Right.
and stuff.
I don't
You
know
what I'm
about
saying?
that.
So I'm seeing the youth.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm seeing what they on.
Yeah, I can't speak.
I live across from a high school. My job where I work is across from a high school. So I see these young kids. They're already taking on the image. They're already dressing that way, styling themselves that way, talking that way. I'm telling you, this is the norm. This is the norm. The rap music, the degeneracy gets to these women early. They literally have it on their phone, like he said, 24/7. They get to see these women talking about all this stuff, dressing a certain way, dressing trashy, twerking everywhere they go. That is the culture. That's what they see. That's what they grow up on. It's when they get older, you think they're gonna change? No, they're gonna stay the same way. Listen, I'm gonna end the video there, but guys, let's be so for real about what's going on in the black community when it comes to black women. I'm not gonna say all black women are like that because I already know that they're not. I've dated very nice black women. My family is filled with them. I see and meet them here and there. But I'm not gonna lie and pretend as though the black culture, when it comes to black women and what they emulate because of the role models that they have, I'm not gonna pretend as though that's not an issue. And I'm not gonna pretend as though black women aren't taking that trashy image and emulating it, because that's false. They're not all doing that, but way too many of them actually are. And we have to address that, and we can't be demanding respect from society if we're going to emulate that trashy hood ghetto lifestyle. We got to do better, and we can do better, but we have to change who we're using as our role models. All right? A little bit less Cardi B, a lot less Cardi B, and a little bit more Michelle Obama. All right? We need to change the shows we're putting on TV. Change what the world is seeing of us. We're always showing the worst parts of us. And we're advertising the worst parts of us as if it's cool. Well, that's just me, man. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you got value from this video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, guys, take it easy.